Good evening. This is Brett Stalkup. Welcome to the Choices Podcast. You can find us at choicespodcastofficial.com. You can go on to Facebook. You can find us on the Facebook group for Choices Podcast. You can also write a question in the comments section of Facebook, and we'll be glad to answer it live during the show. We're kicking off 2025 with some really cool subjects. You guys get ready because your wife is going to say, I told you so tonight.
My wife is already telling me I told you so.
It is. I told you so. I told you. You need to be listening to Choices Podcast more often.
Yep.
Those boys got it going on.
It's just a running, I told you so.
That's a running, I told you so. Hey, we ask you to go on the Choices Official Podcast website and please subscribe, because the more subscriptions we get, the wider our net is, and we get on more streaming services. We're on like 1,400 streaming services already, but we're trying to grow. If we don't grow, that's fine too. We're just trying to make a difference in at least one person's life. Tonight, the topic of our show is the 3 L's. Like, lust, love. And I mean, no better topic for 3 knuckleheads, one ZZ Top wannabe, to talk about like, lust, and love.
So let me just stop you right there, brother.
What?
Yes, I got the ZZ Top thing working, but you know what? My wife loves my beard. She didn't just like it, but because she loves it so much, she lusts after me too, because I got this ZZ Top thing working. So I'm listening to it's not nagging if they keep repeating, I told you so. It's just kind suggestion. That's the way I look at it.
Well, why don't you go ahead and throw a lyric at us, Mr. Lust Love? Hey, has your wife ever listened to the ZZ Top song Just Got Paid?
I bet she has.
Ask her.
Okay. I will.
Good.
Okay, well, I'm going to throw something at you. This is off of Willie Nelson's 47th album, and I'll bet you can't name it, but I would take this album to the desert island. If I could only take 25 records with me, this would be one of them. And this is called Me and the Drummer. It was a very, very tough, it's a tough album to find because it was a Japanese pressing and a German pressing only. And just now recently was it available in the United States. But this is called Something to Think About by Willie Nelson. You're wondering just what I'll do now that it's over and done. Well, that's something to think about, and I've already begun. I suppose that I'll find a way. People usually do, but it's something to think about. I'll be lost without you. One thing I would have you do, please consider the dawn of your lonely years when youth and beauty are gone. And when you can no longer have any sweetheart you choose, here's something to think about. I'll still be thinking about you.
Ooh.
So, anyway, I like that song because yes, it is kind of a breakup song, but he's just he's telling her, don't look so much at the superficial aspect of our relationship, but look long term. And I think that it's a song of encouragement, if anything else, because I mean, I'm not 25 years old anymore, and I often wonder, and I often thought I'm happy to just be a loner the rest of my life, and I'll be a gatekeeper up in heaven or do whatever. But fortunately, I was blessed with a wonderful person that came bopping into my life out of my past, and here we are. But I think it's important that we look beyond just the superficiality of our love, and lust.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Say hi to the Reverend. How you doing, Denny?
Hey, I couldn't be doing any better. Glad to be with you.
I don't hear you talking much tonight. What's up?
Well, I'll just wait. I'm just waiting for the right time to jump in.
He's thinking about that song. That's something to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It
is.
When it's over and done.
You know, it is. I have to read before we start tonight. I like I read the men's devotional Bible every day. And I had this wonderful light. See my light, Rev?
I like it. Yeah.
It goes on my Bible so I can read it.
Nice.
It is, you know, they make these lights now where all you have to do is push the button and it charges. You don't have batteries.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Fancy light. But I keep it simple, right? I want y'all to tell me who the author of this is. Got it?
Okay.
I'm going to do a little reading. I'm going to read a little bit more than I ever have, but just bear with me.
All right.
Because I think it's only fair to the author if I read it all.
Okay.
Got it?
Got it.
Love and the real man. Too many people say love is impossible to understand or define. Love is action. A real man will love a woman the way the Bible says to. The most militant feminist would not condemn a love like that. I would never say that I am the definition of what a real man is, but I'm not ashamed to say I'm working toward it. I want to be the best man I can be, and before it's over, I'm trying to come close. A real man will treat his wife right. He will be a servant rather than a master. He will do the right thing because it's the right thing. He will give 100% no matter what he's called upon to do. And how will a man know when he's a real man? When he seeks to serve. When he can sit down with his wife and honestly look to fulfill her needs before his own. He should ask, what can I do for you? So, all my friends are listening, they're watching the video tonight or watching the show going, OMG. This guy is reading this like he's going to say, what can I do for you? I do. I try. I got DBAP. My rule is DBAP. Society says a man should find a gorgeous wife who will take care of his needs, make him happy, and serve him. She becomes part of his orbit, makes him proud, and gives her everything he thinks she wants. But she's miserable. She's in second place. He can't put her first because that goes against everything he feels and has been taught. Just like everything else God made perfect, the world has flipped this around. There's a counterfeit of the real thing being sold on the market, and it's called lust. It's exciting. It looks good. It's even satisfying for a while, but it's not true love. It's backwards. It fulfills our desires first, even at the expense of the person we're supposed to love. There's a big difference, and we men need to learn and know it. Lust takes for our benefit. Love gives for the benefit of the one we love.
Whoa.
That's good. I don't know who wrote it.
Come on, man.
Can we have some clues?
Hey, you're Big Baylor, man. Come on, Big Baylor, man.
Hey, I'm SMU, brother.
I thought your daughter went to Baylor. She teaches at Baylor.
Well,
Come on.
yeah, okay, that's true.
So you're a big Baylor man.
2 of them went there.
All right. So
Baylor.
Baylor. Carcass, come on.
Judge Kincaid.
No.
Well, I went to the Harvard of the West, BYU. So
I'm going to tell you what position he played.
All right.
Middle linebacker.
Huh.
Mike Singletary?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Okay.
He is the author of Love and the Real Man.
Wow.
Wow.
That's impressive.
I like him even more. I liked him when he played just because he was
deadly.
He was a beast,
Yeah.
but he was benevolent.
He
He was
was.
benevolent at the same time, and he'd knock you on your backside and then stick out his hand in fellowship and help you back up so he could do it again.
Yeah.
You know, I
He
met him
wrote
very
this.
briefly up in Chicago, and I was representing a player named Walt Harris, great guy.
Yeah.
And Walt played for the Bears up there, and
Safety, wasn't he?
he sure was. Very good, Carcass.
Sport.
Don't let that long beard fool
He
you.
may have been cornerback.
Yeah, corner.
Don't make it about football. Come on, guys. Back to the subject.
Hey, the football's a lot easier subject than this one. I was telling you.
But, you know, when I taught relationship at my seminars, I was full. I mean, I had so many people go through it. There's different phases to a relationship. First, you got to like somebody, right?
Yeah.
You got to smell each other like two dogs meeting on the street.
Well, you can't
I'm not
don't
gonna
do
use
that, or
that
it's going to end badly. But
So then, now listen.
Isn't there an element of lust there? Because
next, stay with me though.
Okay, all right.
First, you got to like somebody. Second is the lust phase. Oh my God. I'd always say that. Oh my God, y'all are in the lust phase. Third is the love phase where I call it the friendship phase first. Are you really friends with this person? Is this a person you can spend the rest of your life with? That's when you start looking. You know what I mean?
And maybe lust. I mean, could we maybe substitute attracted? You're very attracted to that individual.
No, it's lust. It's puppy love.
All right. You may be right.
But this is so true. What he's saying is lust is very temporary. You know, It is, dude, and regretful.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And a lot of guys don't regret it, but it's in their blood. I won't mention their names. But
don't you have to kind of love somebody before you lust? Doesn't that enhance the lust you have for them?
No.
So, because I find my wife more and more attractive every day. Not that she's a looker. It's not like she was not attractive to begin with. But I've always.
But you are newlywed.
But you are newlyweds.
But
and this is what I'm talking about, Carcass.
Long time.
Carcass, that other person goes dancing by and you're lusting over somebody and you go, ooh. And then they say something, you go, ooh. It's like Reverend and I have talked about it. The people who look back in Facebook to high school, to the friends they were, and their old girlfriends in Facebook, they're asking for trouble, dude.
Don't eat the cheese, baby.
Don't eat the cheese. Yeah. Lust is the cheese that's in the trap.
No doubt.
It's temporary. It's quick.
Can you lust after your wife?
I think you love your wife. I think there's a difference between love and lust.
So you love her so much that you don't have lust for anything else but her?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just trying to clarify. I'm not trying to be.
And I think attracted. I mean, I think about, in my case, I mean, I was very attracted to Sude. Did I lust after? Well, maybe I'm not gonna make that statement.
See, because you love her. Right?
Yes.
Same with me and Sanka. I love her. I'll do anything to take care of her. I canceled going to the inauguration this week.
But you have to admit, you there was a physical attraction there, right?
Yeah.
I still am physically attracted to my wife. I don't care how old I am or how long this beard gets.
Dude, we ain't talking about that, Carcass.
Okay.
I'm glad you love your wife. Reverend loves his wife. I love my wife.
Sure.
But lust is the devil in your head that he gives you. It's okay if you go over here and talk to your old girlfriend in high school.
Oh, no, it's not okay.
It's not okay, dude. You don't go looking back.
No.
Huh?
I agree with you.
And it's that second look, right? You know, that first look, or maybe the first, just a casual conversation, but it's that second look, it's that follow up.
You know what they used to tell us on the mission, because we were basically, we didn't date anybody. We were in the Lord's service for 2 straight years. And that had no distractions, no music, no dating, no college, no nothing. We were pounding on doors, teaching lessons, bringing people the good word. But my mission president once told us, if you don't look once, you're not a man. But if you look twice, you're not a missionary. And so that's what, naturally you're going to be attracted to the beauty of nature. But then where does that go after that? And I think, Brett, to your point, you're right. It becomes more than just a glance at aesthetics. It starts to become more.
You have to tell your mind to switch.
Yeah.
Switch.
Yeah.
Reset. Shake your hands. Reset. Yeah, I like to reset. I reset all during the day, but also I never forget when I had a friend of mine, and he's dead now. He was the first scholarshiped black male play at University of Texas. He was tight end, Julius Whittier. He was a cool dude.
I know Julius.
You know Julius?
I do. Way back, had a case against him. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a hell of a trial lawyer. Yeah. Anyways, me and him, we tried a capital murder together. Anyway, we tried a bunch of stuff together. But I'll never forget, dude. He come up to me. He goes, "Man, I really need you to pray for me because I've got this lust issue." Dude, I'm all over it. I'll pray for somebody when they say get rid of the lust. I did he. Reverend, how many times you had a client come in your office and say, "Well, I made the ultimate mistake. I really screwed up my wife and she can't let it go. And I cheated. And I lust and I regret the day I did."
Yeah.
It goes.
You said it earlier, Brett. It's a temporary thing. And I think about borrowing some pain from the future. When you're down that road, right?
Yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah. And
wow.
Or you can even borrow it from some of your clients or some of your friends that have gone through. Because the kicks are fun, but the kickbacks are deadly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. That's a statement right there.
I wish I thought it up, but I did steal that from somebody.
Okay.
Oh, you did? You stole it?
Yeah, I did.
That's
God gave you eyes, plagiarized, right?
Oh, this is a good subject.
Too.
Yeah. We were going to the inauguration this week and I had to cancel because Sanka got sick. But I told her, I was like, "You're a breast cancer survivor. When you get sick, we got to stop.
Yeah.
You're going to sit on that couch all weekend long. I don't care what it costs me. You got to take care of your wife." Yeah. We do. We have to take care of them.
Hey, Brett, you want to do some good financial planning? Get lust out of your life, man. Get lust under control. How many clients have you had that came in and they lost over 50% of their estate because of some stupid decisions?
60-40, disproportionate share.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. Guess who's on the 40?
Yeah, oh, yeah. There's an old case called Murph v. Murph. First appellate case I worked on. Listing all those factors. I said, man, hey, there's no such thing as a 50-50 division in Texas if you got the right lawyer.
Yeah, no. I've had guys, and the ones that really hurt people are the ones that cheat on their wives, and they're at home raising the kids. Yeah. I got a guy right now cheating on a gal. Dude, she got a little 4-month-old baby. I'm like, what's he thinking? You know? Or how about this? Reverend, have you seen the new website that what's it called, Carcass, where you have the older guys have the younger women and they're married? And
you're asking the wrong cat, man. I do not know.
It's an older. You know what I'm talking about, Reverend? Come on, Reverend.
Yeah. And and what's the other one that
it's called
it was a site for married couples, to have an affair. And I watched a documentary on that.
Yeah, fetish.
We actually had this guy come out to fellowship and he was interviewed. It was very interesting. And it turns out that the whole thing was, can I say, fraudulent on the air? I mean, so you supposedly had all of these women who were on the site who were interested in having an affair with a married man, and they were married. It turns out there weren't that many women apparently on the site.
Well, the site I'm talking about is a site where a guy's married and has kids or whatever, and he just wants a relationship with a girl that's younger, and he'll pay up to $3,000 a month to help her with her bills, right? And so this dude come in and he goes, "Hey man, I was on this website and I got this girl and I really love her and this and that." I go, "You're married, you got a kid at home, and you really love that." Dude, I told Sanka that night, I said, not only is this messed up, this is going to end up on 48 Hours or Dateline. Sure enough, 2 nights ago, I'm watching 48 Hours. Here's the murder case. Guy gets on the website. Young girl takes the money, right? She ends up killing him.
Wow.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they end up mainly with, strippers. Right?
Don't get married. If you're going to do that, don't even get married. Don't even go through the process. Why? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Oh, Carcass. Unfortunately, I'm in a position at the law firm where I hear all of this. Carcass, do you know how many swingers there are in Dallas?
I have no clue and really don't care.
15,000 couples.
That's 15,000 too many.
And they'll have weekends, swinging couples will take over the whole floor on the Omni all weekend long.
Like Rush Limbaugh used to say, that's absurdity, or that's demonstrating absurdity by being absurd. That's ridiculous.
Now you know what lust is, Carcass? That's what I'm talking about.
All right.
That's lust.
It always has a bad ending. I guarantee you that. It may take a while.
Yeah.
But it always has
because you don't get your lust fulfillment from knocking around somebody else's wife, then you go to your kid. That's what happens.
No.
And then you're in real trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
This will give me the heebie-jeebies.
I'm giving you what's going on out here in the sick world of
it's
lust.
Disgusting. I'm appalled. Maybe, and I'm not. I'm not. Okay, my wife might think that I'm a little naive, and I was a little sheltered growing up. I admit it, but I've seen the world, and I know what it's made of. And in fact, I've been all over the world and know what it's made of. But man, you don't just invite that crap into your backyard. You know what I mean?
Oh,
are people that brazen that they just don't think they'll get caught and that there's no consequences to an act like that? And in fact, that old adage of, walk a mile in my shoes and you'll know how I feel. What man in his right mind would want his wife doing the same thing to him?
I don't get that, dude.
No.
I mean, I wouldn't want Steph to do that. I wouldn't want any of my sisters who are married to good dudes I wouldn't want them stepping out and doing weird stuff like that. But you're telling me it's more common than I think it is.
Oh,
yeah. So Brett, how do you keep from getting there?
Yeah.
From making
I think it's
widespread, you know.
I told I was on a Zoom today with that our business associate who's a 35-year pastor out of Bernie. By the way, he's coming to the C3 conference. I talked to, hey, I want my referral fee. Hey. Anyways, he's going to come and spend some time with us.
Great.
Anyways, he was talking to me, and for some reason, he's like, oh, one of his parishioners came up to him and said, I want you to preach like Chuck Swindoll. And I said, dude, you're making me laugh. He goes, why? I said, back in the day when we had Highland Park Cafeteria here in Dallas on Knox Henderson.
Yes, sir.
Remember it?
Oh, yeah.
Highland Park Cafeteria was the place to be at lunchtime.
Yeah.
Who's who? Anyways, I had Reed over there, my best friend Reed, and we were having lunch. I go, dude, you know who that is over there? I was telling Tim this story today. And Reed goes, no, who is it? I go, dude, that is Chuck Swindoll. We're going to go meet him. He goes, who is it? I said, dude, he is the president of Dallas Seminary. He's by far the best pastor around here. We're going to go meet him. Just follow me. So I walk up and I go, Dr. Swindoll, my name is Brett Stallcup, and I'd just like to meet you. And I want to introduce my best friend to you, Reed Berry. He looked up at his table and he goes, stand firm, young man. Stand firm. Scared me to death, man. I've never forgot that my whole life. I'm like, dude, Chuck Swindoll just told us to stand firm. Man, that's a compliment. We got to stand firm.
That's good.
That's what I'm talking about. Keeping lust out of your life. You have to stand firm.
Yeah.
Stand firm. You know? And when you think it's easy, and back to what you're talking about, Reverend, carcass. What are we looking at, carcass? The 5 fingers. Oh, 4.
Yep.
Your friends, the people you're tight, your orbit's got to be good.
Yep.
Your orbit's got to be good. You got to be able to go tell people what you're feeling.
No doubt.
And those people can't be afraid to intervene when they think that you're straying, or they should be able to tell when they should be able to tell when you're not doing, when something's not right in your life. They should be free to reach out and say, dude, are you all right? You don't seem squared away.
I had a friend over last night and he's living in his RV, and just God bless him. His wife is an alcoholic, and I love this guy. And I'm just like, all I can do is support him, whatever that means. But I firmly, it's my opinion, I'd love to tell him go get divorced, but that's not my place. You have to let somebody, when someone wants to do something like that, own it. They have to own it, dude. Yeah. I think our job is to support people and hold them up and do whatever we can. But on a life-changing decision, especially on divorce, you know, biblically, they got to be able to talk to Jesus about it, not us. I'll never say that you need a divorce. I'd never, hey, can I do your divorce? You need one. I'd never say that.
And Brett, this doesn't have anything to do with that particular individual who I don't know, but
yeah,
you know, I like to tell people your best chance of success in a marriage is the one that you're in now, as a general rule. The stats back that up, you know. So as you get out of this marriage, go into the next, the divorce percentage, the rates just continue to go up. The stats I've heard, you know, about 50% of first time marriages end in divorce.
Yeah.
Second goes up to 75 or so, third and up 85. So I started out with a rule. Your best chance of success is to make your current marriage work.
Stand firm.
Yeah. Now there are exceptions to that, as you well know.
Yeah.
And you and I have both dealt with those.
Yeah, and I just think, like my friend, I think he needs a big dose of Jesus, and I might bring him to your church and sit there with him.
I'd love for you to do that.
Yeah, he's such a beautiful, beautiful joy in my life. And shame on her. She is not going to find anyone better than him, but he could make an excuse to go lust for another woman right now. I'm living in an RV behind my shop.
Sure. But Brett, too, like I want to say this, that if you are in a situation where your spouse has been unfaithful, don't consider that to be an automatic
excuse.
Divorce. Yeah. I mean, I've seen a lot of marriages survive that. Now it takes some work because you gotta rebuild the trust, but it can be done. And I'm thinking of a couple of very successful marriages right now that one of the spouses would have been absolutely within their rights to, go down to the divorce court. And today they're very happy they never went there, but it took some work.
I don't know, Rev. Carcass?
We're not the judge in Israel, Brett.
I know.
And sometimes you have to make a judgment call. Certainly you have to make decisions about children's behavior or your own behavior or this, that, and the other. But I'm telling you, if we're in tune, we'll know when it's time to pull the trigger or when it's time to,
Well, a lot to be said. Firm. The grace of God go I.
Yeah. I mean, man,
there's still going to be consequences.
Sure. And you know what? That loss of trust, I mean, you can only lose someone's trust once.
Yeah.
And then it's not the same. It's like when you wreck a car. They can fix it and it can look beautiful again, but that's still a wrecked car. And it takes a lot to overlook that flaw in somebody, and it's just another temptation to look for someone else. But the thing about it is we're all flawed. We've all done silly things. We've all made mistakes, and it's a matter of managing how we handle it with ourselves first and how we handle it with others second. And there's only one mediator that we really need to worry about, but we take that responsibility upon ourselves, which is wrong.
I like throwing stuff out to you guys because y'all are fun, but I like taking the other position just to make it interesting.
Well, Brett, let me ask you this. Do you think it's harder for the husband to forgive a wife who's been unfaithful than vice versa?
It depends. What? I've seen husbands destroyed with wife going to another woman and having a lesbian relationship. I've seen it destroy a man. And same with the woman. I've seen it destroy a woman where a man goes to another man instead of her.
Our woman, right? I mean, our woman.
I just think if you break that faithful bond, that either way, whether it's, heterosexual or not, you're damaging something that is going to take a long time to fix.
Well, my father-in-law was a nice little old Greek man from Cyprus. He lived here most of the time, and I loved him. He had a saying for when people did that to him. You know what it was?
You're dead to me.
You're dead to me.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
And when a Greek says, you're dead to me,
you're gonzo. Pack your bags and go. Well, and honestly, I've had to learn some tough lessons about how long I trusted somebody and how long I was going to hang in there. And I think that the fact that I love somebody so much that I was willing to just overlook it, which is, I guess, inherently a good thing. But if they're not willing to reciprocate and repair, then the lopsided relationship just doesn't work. I'm responsible.
Got to be 50-50. It can't be 49-51.
Well, I'm responsible for my 100%. My counterpart would be responsible for their 100%. But when you're carrying 50% of their load or vice versa, that's when it gets lopsided. And then the percentages don't weigh out.
I'm not saying I'm holier than thou. I mean, I love Singletary's daily verse that he wrote because I think if you want to be a real man, it takes work. You know, it takes work. Hey, I've had to go back and make amends to some people that I did dirty, you know, back in the day. And
but isn't that what's wrong with society today? It doesn't. If you want to be a good lawyer, guess what it takes? Real work. If you want to be a good landscape professional, what does it take? Real work. You want to be a good husband, a good wife, good boss. What it takes work. We're not going to just say, okay, I've decided to be a great husband today.
Yeah,
that don't work.
Yeah, I agree. You know, Denny and Reverend and I have been we're starting another firm, so we're learning all the time, right?
That's right.
And Denny and I learned last week in a meeting about the Gen Z and the Gen X generation, how 80-20 rule, right, Rev?
That's right.
80% of the ties going to a church are from 20% of the people. And 94% of them are baby boomers, which says the underlying problem is for beautiful churches like Fellowship that Denny works with, beautiful churches like Second Baptist in Houston, beautiful church like the Greek church. There's got to be a succession plan in place by the baby boomers because the big churches will not be able to be funded by the Gen Z and the Gen X people alone. That's sad, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to embrace that. I'd like to think it could be changed, but you know, I just don't know. I mean, those stats don't lie.
It's reality.
Yeah.
So look, we got to look at it, right?
Sure.
I'm changing things up in my trust tonight before we got on the show. I'm like, I want to make sure my church gets what they get deserving to them, right? My kids don't have to worry about it. I'll do it.
And man, we've got to reach out to this generation. It can be done.
We spoke.
It's tough. It's tough too.
Yeah,
it is. It is. The internet, it's a great tool, but man, it's also got a lot of setbacks.
Yeah. And the telephone has a lot of setback.
Yeah.
Carcass always says it's going to be the death of us. I think you're right, Carcass. But what we can do is teach them how to work.
Yeah.
Good luck. I'm serious.
Why do you say that, Carcass?
Because, well, I'm coming from a different place because both my kids worked their tails off, but they grew up working and it was a natural thing for them. They made their beds, they cleaned up their room, they ate breakfast and dinner with the family, they studied before they did their fun stuff, and they worked. And during the summers, I was telling one of my guys today, I says, I used to bring my kids with me when we had big projects, especially in the summer, so they weren't just sitting at home staring at the walls or figuring out how to get into trouble. And my daughter planted. She would go on one of my color crews, and she would plant 4-inch flower pots faster than they would, and it incensed them. It motivated them to try and do better. They couldn't understand it, how this little 11-year-old creature could plant so fast. But it was just natural to her. And when she got paid, man, she socked that money away. She had more money than her dad half the time because she didn't spend it. She knew the importance of that independence at an early age. But try doing that nowadays. I mean, and I give Steph a lot of credit. Single mom raising 2 kids, and you know what? They know how to work. They actually know how to work, and it's shocking because none of their friends really do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a tough row.
I think we have to help teach this generation how to row.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's so rewarding, though. If kids would just understand how exciting it is to be independent and not reliant so much.
Do you notice how the energy level of our whole podcast got a little bit lower when we were talking about this?
Yeah.
You know why? Because it's sad.
Yeah, it is.
It is. But you lose hope and you got nothing, and I still have hope, Brad.
I know. I have hope too.
I have hope.
I think there's a lot of good things about this young generation, and I'll tell you, they're smart and they've got access to a lot of information.
I think getting them back to work 5 days a week is a good start. Come on. I'm gonna roll my sleeves up with. We just hired that young lawyer. I think that kid's gonna be awesome, don't you?
Absolutely.
Brad? All right. We like to end the show with a quote. Tonight, gentlemen, Shakespeare. You ready?
Let's go.
Ready.
What did Shakespeare say about lust? Lust, winter comes ere summer half be done. Love surfeits not. Lust like a glutton dies. Love is all truth. Lust full of forged lies. Worse than killing lust.
Wow, that's good.
Amen to that. No wonder he's Shakespeare.
Really?
Yeah, I think lust kills people.
Oh yeah.
The secrets, I always tell people secrets. My poor buddy was here last night and he goes, "Oh my God, you're the only person I've told about living in the RV." And I've opened up to some friends the last week and told them what's going on. They know what's going on, dumbass. But it's like you can't say that, right? But to see how he just felt better talking to somebody besides me, his friends, and one of them's one of my dear friends is there ain't no 5 on their carcass.
No, you're this one.
Okay, good. Anyways, I'm gonna pray for him. He's gonna be okay. I'm gonna bring him to your church.
Love that, man. Love that.
I think that would help if he goes to the church and finds some comfort, then he can bring his wife,
Be great.
Try to save this thing.
I want to meet him.
Yeah, he's a good dude. Let me tell you, anything to do with the car, he can race them.
He
can drive them, and he can put them back together in a weekend.
Wow.
Amazing.
I can put gas in my car. That's about it.
You know what? He took my car and serviced it because I won't let the shop service it. Listen to this. I gotta say one story before we go. So this guy that parks next to me in the garage, right? He saw I had this Mercedes, that 560, that black one. It was always the battery it was a hybrid, and the battery was always. I had to have it towed out of the parking garage. I gave the car back, and he had a silver one. And now he's got an Aston Martin, beautiful car. Anyways, he walked up to me and goes, "Hey, I want to show you something." He goes, "You know how you just hated that shop or the dealership?" I said, "Dude, that dealership is a joke. A joke." And he said, "Well, I went in there and my trunk wouldn't close on my 560. I said, "No, get out of here." He goes, I got in there because I couldn't drive around with an open trunk. And they said, "Look, we can't get you in today. It'll be 10 days that we can get you in. But in the on a temporary basis, we'll fix it. He goes, okay. They put duct tape on his trunk to shut the door. They put 3 pieces of duct tape to close his trunk. He went back to the dealership with his friend. His friend goes, hey, I called the dealership out there. I want y'all to know I watched a YouTube and there's a reset button in the trunk that all you have to do is push. It resets it and the trunk will close. Y'all put duct tape on his trunk and y'all didn't even know that. And you're the dealership. I don't trust dealerships, dude.
Well, that's
where
you've never been to Moritz.
Closing the trunk. Gosh. Crazy.
I love my dealership. I do. Moritz Kia Alliance. Guys are awesome.
Well,
yeah, I'm
not going to say who this
each their
is.
own. No,
anyways,
those guys deserve a shout out. They're awesome.
My buddy picked my car up, filled it up with gas, brought it back. He serviced it. I know it was done right.
Amen. Well, it's all about trusting them.
Yeah, you do need to meet him. He'll pick your car up, service it, and then you know it's done by the best engineers too, not just hacks.
Well, it's about who's willing to work with you. My guys are willing to work. Your dealership sounds like no one's willing to really work. They just want to put a Band-Aid on a laceration.
No, they want to put duct tape on your trunk, dude.
I hope it at least matched the color of the car, did it?
It was silver. It's the silver duct tape. They didn't put black duct tape on it. All right, guys. I love you guys.
All right.
I've had fun tonight.
Yeah.
Leave lust alone. Scat.
Yeah.
Don't eat the cheese.
Don't eat the cheese, baby.
Night.
Yep.
Blessings.
Good night.
Good night.